if you're here because you want me to break down the Drake and Kendrick beef, that is what I'm going to do. But first, we should address the elephant in the room. I'm not the guy for this job. I'm just not. You can look me up and down, look at my haircut, and know that I've probably listened to more video game music than regular music. And you'd be fucking right. And there's a high chance if you're watching me break this down instead of someone who's more in depth with the culture and actually understands what's going on to a higher degree, you're also someone who listens to a lot of video game music, maybe anime OSTs. You're also likely white. I'm just saying factually, you are likely white. But still, this is all I've been consuming over the past week, and likely you are the same. Or you are sick of hearing it and not understanding what the fuck's going on. So I'm going to break it down for you. As an English literature major, I can do that. I can read lyrics and distill them. The same with Great Gatsby. The same with Push-Ups by Drake. Anyway, let's get to it. This rap beef between Drake and Kendrick started 5 months ago, to my estimation, when Drake came out with the song First Person Shooter featuring J. Cole, which is a fire song. In fact, almost all these songs except for one are amazing. And I can't really play the videos because it will get the video copyright strike, maybe banned, so I'm just going to read the lyrics. It started because J. Cole had a line that said, "Love when they argue about the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, Kendrick? Is it Aubrey, Drake? Or is it me? We're the big three." It's what they call them. The big three. We started a league. But right now, I feel like Muhammad Ali. I feel like I'm the champ. I'm maybe the best. I don't know. Maybe I'm the champ. Who knows? And that was it. You know, just that one line started this all. Because then 4 months later, on a future Metro Boomin song, Kendrick Lamar was featured, like that, also a fire song, and said, "Fuck the big three. It is just me. Actually, I'm the best. Screw you guys." That was basically it. And then got into a little bit more of an analogy between him and Drake as Prince and Michael Jackson, but we're gonna ignore that for now. And then J. Cole, the guy who started it all 5 months ago when he brought up the big three, dropped a whole album called Might Delete Later. And in it had a song called 7 Minute Drill, which was, at its core, a diss on Kendrick Lamar. The whole song was that. And like, this is maybe one of the more iconic lines, but he goes through his albums. Your first year was a classic. Your last year was tragic. And yeah, it goes through all the albums. And then within 48 hours of releasing this song, this diss track, live at one of his concerts, apologizes to Kendrick Lamar. Now, bear in mind, Kendrick hasn't said anything. He didn't come out with a song. He didn't come out with a statement being like, "Man, can't believe you made a whole diss song." None of that happened. He just went on stage.
That God align me back up on my purpose and on my path.
Literally was praying to God that he would not do a diss on Kendrick again because it's not what his soul should do.
You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm going to take that shit on the chin, boy. Dude.
I hope Kendrick didn't take it personally. If you want to come back with a diss track, that's fine, but I'm just going to take it and I will not reply anymore. And everybody made fun of him. And as a guy who likes the J. Cole song where he talks about coming prematurely the first time he had sex, something that I really vibe with, you know, maybe in general, everyone thought he was a loser. They made fun of him relentlessly for days. And then eventually, Drake got involved. Because again, Kendrick did say, you know, fuck the big three. It's just, you know, big me. So J. Cole made his reply, backed out. After that, Drake comes out with his reply called Push-Ups. And if you cannot tell, this is a sticker that oftentimes is on a shoe related to shoe size because Kendrick Lamar is short and he's a shoe size 7, which is small. And famously, Drake's got a giant penis. Anyway, in it, I think the most iconic line, at least to my estimation, he goes after a lot of people, not just Kendrick Lamar. But he says, "I be with some bodyguards like Whitney," which is a maybe triple entendre because, you know, he's with bodyguards. Whitney Houston was in a movie called Bodyguard. And then also Whitney Alford is Kendrick Lamar's fiance. And you know, maybe he's saying she's sleeping around with bodyguards. Maybe she needs a bodyguard because Kendrick has been accused of being a domestic violator, accused of domestic violence. Anyway, that's the line. And then drops a second track. Kendrick, again, hasn't said anything. One line total in this entire thing to this point, and he has had 3 songs made about him. Fuck the big three. That's all he said, and 3 songs have been made about him. And this is the only song in this entire collection of songs we're going to go through that fucking sucks. It outright sucks. And it sucks because Drake used an AI voiceover thing to make him sound like Tupac, the deceased artist, and he, through the voice of Tupac, was saying, "Kendrick, you have to reply to Drake, and here are some things you can say. Like, you can talk about how Drake likes young girls." And he's trying to, like, you know, pep up Kendrick through the voice of Tupac, and then also the voice of Snoop Dogg, who's alive, but he still used an AI filter to do that. And then at the end goes into like a 15-second diatribe about how goated Taylor Swift is. I'm not making it up. This was only posted on Instagram. It can't be posted anywhere because I think it got sued, taken down, cease and desist by the Tupac estate. And it blows because the AI was cringe. It was just fucking cringy and lame. Anyway, Kendrick replies. After being egged on for weeks, there's like 10 days of hiatus. Everyone was saying, damn, fucking Drake's going in. He won this rap beef. Kendrick doesn't even reply. He releases a song called Euphoria. And in the song, I think probably the most biting line was how many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough. And in the totality of the song is kind of poking at Drake for not like he's half white, half black, but more like maybe pretending to be black and using other black artists to bolster the fact that he is black and part of black culture and maybe like, faking being black sometimes. Drake's known for like he randomly had a Jamaican accent for a while. He switches accents a lot. And so he's making fun of that here. And that was the general vibe with Euphoria. Again, another fire song. And he ends with, hey, we don't want to hear you say the N-word anymore, in kind of a ballad. And then before Drake can reply, Kendrick drops another song, 616 in LA, which was released at 616 in Los Angeles. And if you look online, people say it's a quintuple entendre. I'm not going to get into that. But this one is mostly about how Drake has moles, how he has leaks inside of his entourage, his organization, and how he shouldn't trust the people around him because they are leaking a lot of stuff. That was the general vibe, and that was about it. Later that day, Drake releases Family Matters. And Family Matters was like a 7-minute plus song that goes after a bunch of people. And I'm leaving out a lot of shit. Right? There's other characters. There's other people who are involved in this beef like Rick Ross. In this song, Drake also calls The Weeknd gay. That's in this. That happens. He has beef with The Weeknd. I think he makes fun of A$AP Rocky for dressing well and having a child. Bunch of other shit. We're focusing on Kendrick and Drake here. And this, if you don't know, is symbolic because it's the van from Good Kid, Mad City. One of Kendrick's biggest albums, and it's him crushing it to smithereens. And the biggest line here is that Drake reveals that he heard one of Kendrick's kid might be Dave Freeze, one of Dave Freeze's kids. Claims basically Dave Free slept with, impregnated Kendrick's fiance Whitney, and that one of their kids now is actually Dave Free's kid. And Dave Free is a childhood friend, right-hand man of Kendrick. I'm reading this, co-founding a creative company and label of PG Lang together. They basically have a company together, and they're saying there's infidelity with his best friend and his fiance, which is kind of a pretty bold statement to say. And then he says the N-word a bunch of times, presumably because Kendrick was like, hey, we don't want to hear you say the N-word. So he said it a shit ton of times. It's a fucking great song. Full stop. Family Matters, great song. But within 30 minutes of it coming out, 30 minutes, Kendrick released a song called Meet the Grams, which is Drake's last name. Aubrey Graham, that's his last name. And I'm just going to play. I've been able to play Kendrick's music without getting taken down, so I'm just going to play the first 10 seconds to give you an idea.
Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest. It takes a man to be a man. Your dad is not responsive.
Yeah, so he's saying Dear Adonis, which is the name of Drake's kid, which was revealed in a Pusha T beef a while back. You don't need to know that, but he's basically doing a song that is a letter to different members of Drake's family, starting with his son Adonis. And he says he's not a man enough and that he takes Ozempic to get abs. And Adonis, you shouldn't do this. You should just do push-ups, and gives him like life advice. And that's already a very creative way to do a diss track. But then it gets fucking dark and heinous. And this is a song that you kind of just, it's like a one-time thing, right? It's like watching The Conjuring. You're not going for yearly looks of it. It's kind of like Virgin Suicides with Kirsten Dunst. It would be weird if you watched that every single year, Much like this song, because it's a bit haunting, would be weird to listen to like every single day on a run. Why? Well, I'll just play a line here.
Sandra, sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy.
Sandra's
Now
Drake's
listen.
mom.
Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die. Him and Weinstein should get fucked up in a cell for the rest of their life. He hates black women, hypersexualize them with kinks of a nympho fetish. Grew facial hair because he understood being the beard just fit him better.
Yeah, he said he did say that Drake, like Weinstein, should go into a jail cell and then just fucking die. And generally, it calls out Drake as a sex pest, a predator, and that people shouldn't be near him and his crew because he also hires predators. And he specifically calls out like LeBron's family and Steph Curry's family and says, don't go near Drake. Don't bring your children near them. They're predators. And then also, importantly, reveals that Drake has a hidden 11-year-old daughter that he has never released, told anyone about, has been keeping a secret. Which, if you don't know anything about Drake, is basically the only time he ever lost another rap beef, is when Pusha T revealed that he had a son, Adonis. So after this song comes out, Drake creates an Instagram story. And he says, hold on, can someone find my hidden daughter, please, and send her to me? These guys are in shambles. Saying, hey, I don't have a daughter. That's crazy. But he didn't reply to him being a predator and a bunch of predators being a part of his team. It's basically like Kendrick said, hey, man, you have a secret daughter. Also, you're a pedo. And Drake's like, dude, the daughter part was fake. So a bunch of people started making fun of Drake online. And because of Kendrick's strategy of releasing within 30 minutes of Drake's song, it also overshadowed Drake's song. And online, everybody's saying, or the majority is saying, that Kendrick won. But he wasn't done. Because yesterday, he released another song. Before Drake would reply, 2 songs. And the thumbnail for this song here is Drake's estate. It's called The Embassy, with a bunch of little markers here. Those markers, for your information, are what you would see on like a sex offender app to see sex offenders near you. And he's basically saying there's like fucking 15 sex offenders that you have on payroll. And the song Not Like Us basically goes into depth about that Drake has a bunch of predators on payroll, goes into depth on one guy specifically, Baca, and then also straight up calls Drake a pedophile. He basically drops the whole daughter thing and just goes full in. He goes, you're a fucking predator and pedophile, and you are a sex pest, and you're a problem. And then also kind of ostracizes him from other like rap creators that Drake has worked with, and said that you use them to make yourself feel more black, and you basically use black people to become the biggest creator in the world without actually being a part of black culture yourself. Pretty fucking insane song. Also way more fun to listen to than the previous one, which was much more haunting. And I think that is proven by the fact that it is the most viewed song of this entire feud. Number 1 on trending. It came out today. It has more views of any of the YouTube videos, more than Family Matters, more than Meet the Grams, even though it has been around for the least amount of time, right? People really fucking have connected with this song. And then, finally, just a few hours ago, Drake replies. And still with the same sort of tune. And this is Dave Free. This is a screenshot of him dropping a heart on a picture of one of Kendrick's children. And he brings up the fact that Dave Free, Kendrick's close friend and associate, is followed on Instagram by Kendrick's fiance, and Kendrick himself is not followed by his fiance on Instagram. So again, trying to imply, hey man, your fiance and best friend had sex with each other and had a child, and now you call that one of your children. And also tried to defend against the underage pedophile predator allegations. And he said, I've never been with no one underage, but now I understand why this is the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I would have been arrested because I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested. Which makes no sense in my mind as a defense. I'm too famous to be a pedophile. You know, he does have better defenses later. He also says, like, I wouldn't do that because you shouldn't let the fact that you're famous stop you from being a pedophile. It should just be that you aren't attracted to fucking kids and don't want to be a pedophile. But I tweeted, I went on Twitter about this. I'm too famous to be a pedophile. It's crazy because there's so many famous pedophiles. I don't know the amount of pedophiles in the world, but I do feel like disproportionately they are famous. Because I feel like a lot of times people are using their fame, their power, to leverage it into doing heinous acts that are otherwise the average citizen is not doing. And I have a list here of very famous pedophiles, the ones that we know of. There's many fucking others. And then the main actual like teeth in this song is that he brought up some hypocrisy. The fact that Kendrick Lamar basically went on record, put his money on the line, and said, if you remove R. Kelly's songs from Spotify, this is in 2018, when there was a lot of pressure to remove them from Spotify, he will remove his own songs from Spotify. And if you don't know by now, R. Kelly, fucking horrible predator, pedophile, terrible dude all around. So there is some hypocrisy there. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter, right? Like I'm happy as a human in this world to be like, okay, well, yeah, Kendrick is a hypocrite, but Drake, I guess you do have a guy on payroll that's, fucking not the most uptight guy. And there are a couple weird videos of Drake surfacing online. I don't know if he's a pedophile. I have no fucking clue. I don't have any insight to their life more than the average person. But ultimately, that, to me, doesn't maybe sway my mind. And so right now, if I'm just going to encapsulate it in one thought, Kendrick Lamar is somewhat destroying Drake in this rap feud. And you can look at that based off the views. You can look at it based off of public sentiment. You can even look at it based off like the like to dislike ratio that Drake is currently getting on his songs. But if you don't want to take my word for it, because ultimately I'm a guy who listened to Final Fantasy soundtrack for the first 18 years of his life, you can listen to DJ Academics, who is famously one of the biggest Drake diehards, say this on his stream.
On whatever you got. Yeah. All of your intel, all of your feed, all of your inside information, all of your DMs, your text messages, whatever you got, you have dot up currently, right?
So with everything that you know, everything that you've heard of, you think Kendrick Lamar is up on Drake in this feud?
Yes, he is slightly up.
Okay.
And he goes, yes, he is slightly up. And that's DJ Academic saying that, man. That's like Slime saying Mango's not the GOAT anymore. That's pretty big. Anyway, that's it. That's it for now. And this is the best time to start actually keeping up with the shit that's going on, because this is probably once in a lifetime that two of the most commercially successful and one of the most critically successful artists are feuding. This shit once in a generation. Thank you for watching. This is my I just want to talk about it because I don't know, I'm not the fucking guy to talk about this, but I just been listening to it, so I want to talk about it. A little English lit major thrown in there. Have a good one. Subscribe. See you later. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye.